ustedes, Myrna Soto, Chief Strategy and Trust Officer de Forcepoint.
Hello, everyone. My name is Myrna Soto, and I am the Chief Strategy and Trust Officer at Forcepoint. We are extremely excited to be with you today. Thank you very much for joining me today to talk about the future of cybersecurity. And in particular, thank you to MAPS for hosting IT Solutions again this year and bringing us all together virtually. MAPS is an incredible partner of ours, which we have been working with for over 20 years. And Forcepoint is honored to join such a terrific line of thought leaders from across the industry to discuss the cybersecurity path forward. I have personally had the honor and pleasure of being an active practitioner in the technology space, and in particular, a leader in cybersecurity for over 25 years. I have served as the global CISO for multiple Fortune 100 companies, and also currently serve as a corporate director for multiple publicly traded organizations in the United States. Why am I sharing this? Because I've been in the cybersecurity landscape and have seen it transform many times, and we are on the cusp of another significant transformation. But first, let's go back to a particular beginning many years ago when the inception of the internet happened. It was originally envisioned as a safe place and a trusted place for researchers and scientists to use the internet to share ideas and research with one another. Did you know that the first cybersecurity attack happened in 1989? Robert Morris executed the first DDoS attack, which slowed the early internet down significantly. And after the decades, attackers have grown even more sophisticated and are continuously evolving their tactics to exploit every vulnerability as a way onto your network. It's really hard to believe today that the founders of the internet never imagined it becoming what we see today. It is the superhighway for malicious attacks at speed and at scale. Bad actors can execute thousands of attacks against our companies and only have to get it right once to get access to our digital crown jewels, while we have to get it right every single time. With such a dynamic threat landscape, you would think that cybersecurity, the industry, would have evolved just as fast, but unfortunately it hasn't. Today, hackers have a 95% success rate. In any other industry, that would be considered an incredible failure. For the most part, cybersecurity has largely remained unchanged for the last 20 years. Can we name any other industry so vital to business today that hasn't changed in the last 20 years? Just look at the storied industries such as the film industry in Hollywood, transportation, hospitality, financial services. All of them have been disrupted in the last 10 years. The cybersecurity industry has long been overdue for a transformation, and I'm happy to say it is now here. And that is good news for many countries around the world struggling to modernize their cybersecurity posture for today's threats. Let's talk about Mexico. In Mexico, a recent report found that 94% of companies in the last year were compromised to one degree or another. That is 94% of companies having at least one successful attack executed against them. It's clear something has to change, and very fast. Fortunately, now is a pivotal moment for many of us in the security field. This is a moment where we each have an incredible opportunity to accelerate our transformation efforts across our organizations and to our daily lives. The global events this year have forever changed how we conduct business. It has also proven to have changed the industry forever. Isn't it amazing how something as simple as people working remotely could break some of the most sophisticated security architectures, while also highlighting some of the most glaring challenges with the current approach to security. Current events as a result of the COVID-19 crisis have forced every organization to reassess security strategy while simultaneously accelerating the digital transformation at a rate and pace not to have seen in many years. Millions of workers internationally are now connecting not only to corporate networks, but also within sensitive data stores, which have moved to newly developed SaaS applications that better enable remote working environments, but also open many doors to new vulnerabilities at scale. Adopting the cloud at your own pace is really no longer an option, as the cloud has now become a core part of nearly every company's go-forward business continuity strategy, and right now, the strategy to remain in business. One thing is clear today, that the foundation for all modern security architectures is cloud first. The approach, cloud first, riding atop a converged security platform. And we believe the days of point products are over. CISOs have been given a wake-up call and now understand that they were living in somewhat of a false sense of security. They realize that true security is not about building a perimeter within four walls through a specific piece of hardware or software. It's really about people. If the current global events have shown us anything, it is clear that people are the new true perimeter in this era of commoditizing the IT stack. And visibility into the behavior of people and data, wherever they are, has been more critical than ever. And the edge, which used to be a network architecture term or an IoT reference, is now a person's kitchen, living room, or home office. Overnight, it became so much more personal and intuitive. Now that so many security leaders and technology leaders have proven their ability to pivot to a virtual and remote work environment, we have blurred the edge and the perimeter like never before. What is now key is for organizations to make sure that they're doing so while maintaining the highest levels of security in order to protect their assets, their customers, their employees, and their brand. Now that the perimeter has moved outside of our four walls of our security program, how do we secure today's people perimeter that is dynamic and continuously changing? The enormity of unmanaged devices and the lack of visibility should bring us great concern. That and the fact that spear phishing is up more than 660% since March. Naturally, no good crisis is viewed as anything other than a great opportunity for bad actors as they take advantage of the turmoil, the fear and uncertainty associated with this pandemic. So what is the path forward? From a technology perspective, it is about connecting seamlessly, securing to both private and public applications from remote work sites, which are often our homes, and using personal devices. It is about using and sharing all types of data and intellectual property, accessed and transferred within and outside of our public and private clouds. And it is about ensuring that connections with colleagues across the company can be trusted. Trust, a very key element to the security paradigm we believe in at Forcepoint. Now, to do all of this, adopting new security models and architectures like SASE, which stands for Secured Access Service Edge, are extremely important ways to move forward and with the efficacy required. SASE and converged platforms is what we believe is the path forward for cybersecurity. Some have asked, is SASE a revolution in networking or just the security industry waking up to the fact that people are the new perimeter? In today's world, users must drive network and security architectures, not the other way around. It's time to move past the legacy security models and embrace a modern security path forward. Do you know that today's current product-centric security paradigm forces the average enterprise to deploy over 50 individual point products? This creates a largely loosely integrated security fabric, which is contributing to the near record number of infrastructure compromises and data breaches. It's just not working. This has resulted in a costly security stack with inherent interoperability and management challenges that inhibit our ability to get ahead of today's threat landscape. It's like fighting with one hand tied behind your back. Our organizations will never move left of breach using legacy security models. Forcepoint recognizes that solving today's most pressing security problems requires a very tight integration of capabilities that cross traditional point product boundaries. This must be done natively in the cloud to deliver the best user experience possible. Now is the time to implement those modern security architectures and put users and data at the center of our customers' design thinking. A SASE architecture, one that is cloud first, end user aware, and driven through a converged security platform with unified user policy, can deliver a very compelling path forward. SASE combines several emerging technologies to unite network management with security. Forcepoint's cloud is a true SASE architecture. It is a converged security stack that allows data and users and follows them wherever they go, and enables easy chaining and layering of security services with a use what you need, when you need, where you need it type of business model. The days of point products are truly coming to an end. Today, Forcepoint is the only company delivering a true SASE platform, not just a bundled set of products, but a true cloud-first, hybrid-ready, converged platform that is easily deployed at scale and continuously adapts to evolving security use cases. For example, Forcepoint recently introduced the Cloud Security Gateway, we call it CSG, which brings together secure web gateway, CASB, and DLP technologies into a single centrally managed cloud service. Gone is the complexity of purchasing and administering and supporting multiple products as a solution bundle, as is the guesswork and how to secure your highly distributed enterprise as your organization transforms to the cloud. And security teams now can gain full visibility and control from remote workers, sites, and on-premise facilities. Another example, every organization was a little caught off guard in managing the mass shift to remote work recently as a result of COVID-19. And many found out very quickly that their VPN limitations, the complexities of the VPN infrastructure, and the bottlenecks that were created were massive productivity killers. There has to be a better way to give employees access to corporate applications needed to do their jobs without having to timeshare VPN access with other employees around the globe. Forcepoint's answer to this is what we call private access, another product we have recently launched. Private access, a cloud service that provides true zero trust remote access and built-in firewall as a service capabilities. It uniquely protects internal applications and networks against potentially compromised remote devices and networks, while also preventing the loss of sensitive information or intellectual property. Organizations gain a fine-grained total control without exposing internal networks, and remote users are freed from having to work differently or suffer from slower cloud performance. This is what SASE truly is in action: stopping threats, providing reliable connectivity, ensuring secured access to applications and data, and making sure who you think you're working with digitally is actually who they're supposed to be. All of these pillars are the most important cornerstones of a viable and effective security construct, or, quite frankly, a modern platform for cybersecurity. When you think about SASE, one could say it's basically similar to the transformation that other technologies have experienced by moving to the cloud. But for security, it is much bigger than that. It's about the true convergence of security capabilities into a common platform that is cloud native. It is about providing the security stack with the inherent benefits of cloud technology: scalability, centralized management, on-demand services, reduced or no on-premises fixed investments, and global reach. SASE enables security teams to deliver a rich set of networking and security services in a consistent and integrated manner to support the needs of digital business transformation, edge computing, and workforce mobility. This then enables new digital business use cases, such as digital ecosystems and mobile workforce enablement, with increased ease of use while at the same time reducing costs and complexity via vendor consolidation and a dedicated circuit offload. As mentioned previously, this is the opportunity for us to shatter the traditional security approach of using so-called best-of-breed point products that individually have great capabilities, but end up being narrow and result in security seams, multiple policies, custom integrations, and ultimately a higher total cost of ownership. Forcepoint is certainly a leader today in the paradigm shift I'm speaking of. I like to believe that what we are doing at Forcepoint is not only about dynamic protections and lower total cost of ownership, but frankly, an accelerated time to value. The ability to adopt a SASE platform solution and streamline the number of moving parts while elevating the dynamic nature of protection and detection actions with the proper analytics and intelligence is a significant advancement for security practitioners to adopt. But let me be clear. Adopting a generic SASE architecture is simply not enough. It's not a matter of just lifting and shifting capabilities to the cloud, an approach that many other security vendors have done. And while that approach has resulted in short-term value for customers, what ultimately is required is a perspective shift in which you need to view all of your security decisions and approaches holistically. That perspective starts with recognizing, again, that people are the new perimeter. Human beings are still the #1 attack vector. Humans will also always have a high level of variability and uncertainty. So as opposed to reevaluating the cybersecurity paradigm from the changing infrastructure alone, we really need to evaluate it through the new context. People are the new perimeter. At Forcepoint, we refer to this approach as human-centric cybersecurity. The true path forward in cybersecurity takes into account and uses behavioral intelligence to understand how behaviors of our users are changing and which ones ultimately drive up the risk to our business, either accidentally or deliberately. By tying business risk to the actual employee behavior, we are able to provide customers security at a much more granular level and thus at a much higher efficacy. Driving efficacy of your policies and control points increase the effectiveness of containment decisions or other outcomes based on trust. This approach, combined with a true SASE architecture, can deliver organizations what we at Forcepoint call behavior-defined networks, where the security policies change dynamically for each individual user, each machine, or even each service account. Keyword here is dynamically. This is a term that is core to our solution sets. As many of you know, there is absolutely nothing static about the threat landscape and the attack techniques being used against us by the adversaries today. The core need is dynamic and adaptive technologies, easily deployed and managed as cloud-native services. Data and users are the critical point to this approach. Why would we want any customer to settle for a static solution? To protect their organizations and enterprises, especially those solutions that have forgotten about the most critical variable in the equation, the user. A key element to the human-centric approach is the necessity to preserve the privacy of those individual employees. True SASE solutions need to have privacy by design so they can be trusted to protect the digital identity of employees from being abused or seized by outside bad actors. This point is a key part of the reason why I joined Forcepoint and a pillar to my role focusing on trust. Trust in the effectiveness of our solutions, trust in how our analytics and data will be used, and ultimately protected. To wrap, it's about protecting users and data at the edge, the human edge. And getting cybersecurity right today has never been more imperative. Understanding the behavior of users interacting with data is the modern bad actor's kryptonite and the enabler for CISOs to move their organizations to a true security risk management approach, or what we like to call left of breach. I strongly believe in this approach and why I'm so excited about our position as a SASE leader. Ultimately, our approach is about enabling companies and organizations to safeguard human potential so they can grow and thrive. We believe the winners in this space are those that will have the ability to hide and eliminate the complexities most. We believe SASE architected platforms with dynamic data and user protections will do just that. Selecting a security partner that can deliver a true SASE architecture from SD-WAN all the way to the endpoint is absolutely critical to enabling business activity while managing security risk. Today, Forcepoint is the only company delivering a true SASE platform. Defense in breadth versus defense in depth is what is needed. And I'm happy to say that that change in security is here and now. We sincerely hope to be your trusted partner on this journey. I want to thank you for your time, and many thanks to MAPS again for your incredible partnership. Muchas gracias y cuídense.
Agradecemos a Myrna Soto por su participación en el IT Solutions Day.